Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to fold the Eagle X plane. I made it out of really cool like American paper. It has 4 canards, air intakes, it has a really cool tail fin, really nice wings, the radar dome. It has a cockpit that you could open and close here, and also has 2 missile racks and locks together really nicely. So, first step, you're going to need square paper. You're going to fold it in half all 4 ways. Fold it in half this way, and this way. So horizontally, vertically, and both ways diagonally. And then we're going to squash fold it like this. Also, if you have paper that has 2 different colors on either side, this part right here, the color that's on the top is gonna be the color of the cockpit, and this part of the nose is gonna be a different color than the rest of the plane. But so this cockpit is gonna be the same color as the rest of the plane, but this section of the nose is gonna be different. So now we're gonna fold this tip to the center on both sides. Now I'm gonna squash fold this, all 4 pockets. Same thing on the other side. Now we're going to unfold this. I'm gonna make a few folds. I like to fold this up first, and basically we're going from this point right here to this point where those creases are. And this tip is landing on here. That's why I like to fold it up so I could see it better. Same thing on the other side. Now folding this down, refolding on this crease, and then squash fold this. Okay. Now we're gonna fold this into the center. Oops. Okay, so after that, you're gonna petal fold it up. And then we're folding this corner to right here. Same thing on the other side. Right, and now we're gonna fold this edge to here. Same thing here. And then basically, see this intersection right here? We're folding down on that so that the point hits the center. So this point is going to land on the center, and also this crease is going to land on this crease right there. Then we're going to fold like this. We're starting from this point, and this edge is going to land on itself. Same thing on this side. And then we're also folding this edge to here. Same thing here. And now basically what we're gonna do is we're opening along this crease right here. And also on this side. So we're folding on both sides at the same time. Folding here and on these two creases. The rabbit ear fold, so you're folding the flap to either side. And then squash fold this. Then fold this up to the top of here. This part accidentally ripped a little bit. That's fine. And then we're gonna fold that crease to the diagonal crease. Then we're folding this down, and we're folding along these two diagonal creases. And rabbit ear folding it to either side. So it's going to be like that, and we're going to leave the tail fin like this for now. We're going to open up this whole thing. Then we're going to fold this up from corner to corner. Sometimes I actually like folding it this way so that it's not going to rip. So otherwise, a lot of times it rips when I fold it. But you really have to make sure it goes directly from corner to corner, otherwise it'll probably rip anyway. I'm going to fold this down to here. Same thing right here. I'm gonna zoom out the camera for now. Then we're rabbit ear folding this. Squash fold this. And then move this out to here. Make this fold. And basically bring this crease to the edge. And fold this to the top. And then we're swivel folding this. I'm going to fold this to the center. Now petal fold this up. Now we're going to unfold this. And we're going to restructure this. So basically first we have to flatten this. So this crease is going to land on this crease right here. Same thing there. And then we're squash folding this down. Folding this triangle down, and then we have to petal fold this up. We're folding this up, and then we're basically taking this edge and we're folding it into this part. So we're folding it to here. Same thing over here. Now we're going to do a pretty tricky step, which is we're opening up this pocket, and then we have to push this section in. It's a really hard step. Here's how it's going to look. These layers are supposed to be behind. We're pushing it in, and as we're pushing it in, if they go here, and basically make a fold. Wait, it's gonna start from that point, and this is gonna land right on that crease. You see this point lands on that crease? Just like this. And then we're folding all this down. So you see it goes all the way to there. And this crease is gonna land right on the center. And this is gonna land on that crease right there. And it goes all the way to the inside. And then we're gonna flatten this. So it's gonna look like that. So that's a pretty tricky step. So we're gonna have to repeat on the other side. So we're opening up this layer. We're pushing this in. You wanna do it very slowly so it doesn't rip. And so we're pushing it onto the other side, along that crease. Like that. Flattening all of this down, and then we're going to swivel this to the other side. Now we're gonna fold this. There's a tab right here. And we're gonna fold it this way. Basically it goes from this corner right here, and we're landing this layer on itself. Same thing right here. And we're doing a swivel fold, so we're taking this, I'm gonna zoom in. We're taking this crease to the center. And then there's already gonna be a crease right here. We're gonna just flatten this out. It's gonna look like that. Same thing on the other side. Swivel fold this to the center. Now we're gonna swivel this out to here, to this corner right here. Same thing on this side. Right here we have to, basically I want to kind of, even though this is going to be a bit of a hard step, I want to organize these layers of the back canard. So basically what we're going to want to do is fold these upward, swivel them upward on both sides. Then when you do that, you're going to have to open up all this and basically push in on here. It's going to be a really hard step. You want to make sure it doesn't rip also. Sometimes I like to only do this layer, the front layer first, and then I could just, nope. It's really tricky. Finally, I got one, and then I'm gonna have to get the other. Should be easier. Okay, great. So now you just have to close it back up. So now on this one, instead of having all these layers, like look, you got 4 separate layers here on one canard. Now I believe it's just gonna be 2 instead of 4. So if you want the plane to be like look neater, then I suggest you do this step. Fold that tab up and then restructure this. Okay, then we're gonna fold these out. Now we're going to basically fold from here all the way to here, where the paper catches and you can't fold it anymore. And also we're going to fold this to the center. Also, after you fold this to the center, you might want to like re-fold this crease, the big crease, because a lot of the times the paper might like move out. So if you don't want to get that wrong, that's what you should do. Okay, now we're going to basically open this up a little bit. I'm gonna pop that out. And we're folding along here. So we're gonna copy that on the other side. Fold this in. Let's do this part first. Fold it in. And fold on here. Instead of like doing it the normal way and trying to close. We don't want to close sync this, so because it might rip that way. So instead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just open that up a little bit. So just by opening up that up a little bit, we could make it like neater like this. We're gonna shift that back. One of these is a bit different from the other side, but that's fine because we basically, I want to fold this. Yeah, it's already folded. So now what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna push up along here. We're gonna fold this to the center, this little tab, and then we're gonna swivel fold. I'm gonna swivel this down. Until that corner right there. We're closing that back up. Now opening this up along here. Make sure this matches. Yep, it matches. Fold this into the center. Now we swivel folded that also. Now I'm going to fold this up as far as it's going to go. I'm also going to fold this flap right here it already has a crease behind it, so you're just following that one. Now you're basically taking this crease just making sure it matches, this layer matches with itself, and you're swiveling it to this corner. And then you're going to fold this from here to here. Now you have a rabbit ear fold. So you're going to fold it in opposite directions. We're also going to fold this. Folding that up. We're squash folding this part. And we're taking these layers out like this. So swivel, go along this crease, swivel it out. Now we're gonna swivel fold this. So we're basically folding this edge to the center. And we're swivel folding it to that corner. Now we're gonna fold this to here. And also folding this tab down. Oh, so it was off camera a bit, I'm sorry. So right, we've swivel folded this. And now what we gotta do is we have to do a tricky step. Make sure it doesn't rip. I'm gonna zoom out all the way. because I keep going off camera for some reason. Maybe I'll also... Okay, good. So I bet that's shallow. So now we gotta basically closed sink this. Do it very slowly and carefully to make sure nothing rips. And then we're also going to sink this part. And we're also going, then, actually 1 sec, we'll do this step later. So first step is, so we have these creases already. Now we're gonna refold on them and we're gonna swivel fold it to here. Right there. And we're opening up this. Same thing here. We're opening it up and swivel folding it to that crease right there. And we're opening this up. And we're going to go ahead and put this behind the layer. Same thing over here. And we're gonna fold this to here. So folding this to that crease right there. Same thing on the other side. And then we're pushing this up. The crease should run to that point. Perfect. Now we're gonna go from here and reverse this crease. And we're folding this up. Now we're gonna do this one more time, so we're just gonna fold up right here. But then, yeah, we also gotta reverse that. Let me fold this in half. So we're gonna fold this up, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do this fold. One sec. Oh, just give me a second. I'll work on this side first. So basically going from here, let me zoom in. From right there, and behind this layer, I'll show you right here. So see where this meets this edge. Actually, this came out super weird because, one sec. Okay. So we're swivel folding from right there. To that point, right up there. The weird thing is usually this right here is ends up all the way back here. So this point and this edge right here are like closer together. Not usually on top of each other, but usually a lot closer than they are here. Alright, so that's pretty weird, because see here, it's a lot closer to the edge. So now we're going to fold up along that layer. So now we're going to make the air intake by swivel folding this so that this edge lands on itself right there. And we're going to push this into the plane. All right, and same thing here. Oh, whoops. First we have to, one sec. First we have to swivel this up. And then we have to fold this inside versus back in. I want to actually take this out for a second so I could see if they're the same. And they basically are. So I'm going to put it back in. Okay, now we're going to swivel here. And we're also going to swivel here. So see, the nose is a different color than the rest of the body. But then this color, which matches the body's color, is going to be separate from the nose. So that's why we're going to have a color change cockpit. So we're folding like this again. And then we're folding in. And usually I fold in till this crease. One sec. Usually I fold in right till there. Now we're gonna have to do a very careful, oh, wait, no, before we do that, we wanna first sink this. Now we're gonna sink this. So now we're gonna have to fold this in. Which does unfortunately add another layer to there. But right, so basically inside reversing that. There's a lot of different ways to layer this plane. Sometimes I used to keep this layer out, like the one that we sunk, but then it kind of looks weird. Usually, so how am I going to do this time? I'm going to, basically now that we inside reverse that, we could reach into this pocket. And do like that. Also, actually, let me just, first we're going to want to fold it like this so we could decide how big our canard is going to be. So we're basically going to be folding until around there so that this crease is going to be parallel with the back edge of that crease. This video is actually getting pretty long. So I'm gonna pull this out. I'm gonna pull this piece out right there so that when you swivel fold it, one sec, so that when you swivel fold it, then you could just fold that piece inwards. This video is getting really long. A lot longer than I thought it would be, but that's fine. We're gonna swivel fold this also. We're gonna fold this out to make sure it matches the other side. Okay, now we're gonna fold the cockpit up and fold these two tabs in. I thought this video would be much shorter, but turns out that's not the case. Yes, this plane is really hard. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna swivel fold this. We're making a kind of a rabbit ear fold. I'm gonna hurry up now. Fold this tip to the corner. Fold again like this. Then we're gonna swivel fold this up. Then we're squash folding this. Same thing on the other side. And we're unfolding it. Then we have to unfold that part for a bit. I'm gonna fold inward from that corner till there. Then we're folding this in and we're folding it under the wing. into the wing. So there's our first missile rack. Same thing here. Fold this to the top. Sorry for the noise. Fold it in again. And then do that fold. And then squash fold this. And squash fold this. Squash fold. And then we want to take the missile rack out. So you have to restructure it. Fold that over, and then fold it into the wing. Oh wait, there's something wrong with this rack. See, one of the layers is, both layers are to the same side. It shouldn't be that way. Okay, now we basically have to make a swivel fold. So we're swivel folding like this, right? And then we have to swivel fold again. Like that. So basically this layer is going to land on the edge. Zoom in. Like that. And then you're going to make a crease. You're pushing it in. Making a crease from there to there. After that, you have to make a fold from that corner. Alright, so we're folding from that corner to basically that point. Same thing here, so we'll fold this. And then make another swivel fold. Okay, now we're basically getting very close to the end. We have to now make a jet fold. The layers get really thick at the front, which is a problem. Sorry if I keep going off camera for a couple seconds. From that corner to there. And chances are, as you're folding it, it's not gonna make, the fold isn't gonna get all the way to the cockpit. So if that happens, you could just move the cockpit up, or you could try like really forcing it, but that's kind of hard, whatever. Okay, now we're swiveling this up until right here. All right, it's like that. Sorry. So basically, you see that corner right there? Yeah, that's gonna land on this edge, and also this line right here is gonna be parallel. So this and this are gonna be perpendicular at a 90-degree angle. So how are we gonna make the third tail fin? Actually, right now you have a choice. Either if you want two fins, here's how it's gonna work. If you want twin fins only, then sorry. What you can do is you're just gonna fold it and then wait for, and then don't change anything about this, just wait for the later steps where I explain how to do the lock. Okay, so if you do not want a twin fin and you want like these really cool 3 fins that we have, they're pretty hard to make also. You're folding basically, one sec. You're folding this in half. So you're folding from here to there. So as you can see what we're doing there, we're folding along those and we're kind of making a squash fold. And also at the back, it's gonna also have a squash fold. That's why we had to fold those layers in. And then we're folding along here. folding this. So folding first that horizontal crease, and then we're inside reversing it to make this. Next, we're gonna fold this down as far as it goes until it catches here. We're folding it so that this edge lands right here. Same thing on this side. And then we're gonna pop the third fin out. Okay, here's a step where we do the lock. For anyone who decided to do the two tail fins, this is what you're going to be doing. So first you want to fold like that. There's kind of already a crease there. Basically, you're folding this. And basically the fold is going to go from around like there to here where the fin starts. So that's going to be part of the lock. So we're going to make that fold. And you also have to make sure that you have to push that layer in so that it doesn't go past here. So this is going to be our lock. So in a moment, we're literally almost done with this plane. So in a moment, we're going to put this tab into the other. We're not going to fold them over each other because there's no point in doing that. It's way too thick. So our final step for the actual fin is that we are gonna squash fold this. First, you want to open that up, and we're going to be squash folding it. So like that. And then we're going to tuck these tabs into the plane. There might be a problem where this thing kind of comes up. As of now, I have no way to fix that. You're just gonna have to like keep it tight to there. Also, this thing right here is a problem that you, like this layer not sticking to the plane is a problem that you could just fix basically by folding in on that tab. So yeah, you fold in on that tab, and we are literally done, like almost done, except for the wings. So for the wings, it's kind of hard because basically you're gonna go from here, and the way you want to fold it is, so either you could like fold the wings and the canards separately, or you could basically lay it down like this. And so it's gonna start from there, and then you're folding it. Just kind of wrestle with the layers a bit here, but you're basically folding it to one side like that. This, all right. And then you have to first, to get to the other side, you have to fold it the other way. Okay, you want to make sure these tabs are always kept inside the plane. And now the wings, everything, oh yeah, we have to lock this in. So just insert one tab into that layer, and you want to flatten this a bit right here, but don't fold it over, because that'll make, if you try to fly the plane, that might make the plane like turn right or left, and you don't want that. Unless the plane does fly right or left anyway, in which case you will need to do it. So now, to like adjust the plane. So now we're gonna adjust how the plane looks. You really want to get that X look for the canards. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of raise the top canards, and the bottom ones will sort of naturally be down. So you kind of want to copy it. And the cockpit, you could obviously like raise or lower it. And also you have to open up the air intakes and shape them. So that took a lot longer than I expected, unfortunately, but if you appreciated this plane, leave a positive comment in the comment section. Thank you for folding. I really hope you guys were able to make it this far. I know this is a really difficult plane. It took a lot longer than I expected, but looks really beautiful. I named it the Eagle X because obviously after the eagle for the American flag. And also, if you look at the shape of the nose, it's kind of like in a star. It's literally star-shaped. And obviously it looks like an X. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.